Hey everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV. It's podcast time. I'm Steve Hoare, joined by Ross Chandler and Jay Pearson for this one today. And we've got absolutely tons to talk about. We've got loads of games coming up for the Reds, thick and fast. And we've also got a contract situation, but it isn't Mo Salah. It's Sadio Mane. Neil Jones wrote an article about it a few days ago. We're going to touch base on that as well. Got plenty. Guys, thanks very much for joining me. Before we start, as usual before we start talking about the footy, we've got some kick-off questions. But the first one, to be fair, is Liverpool and football related. Anyone who's watching along, by the way, get your answers in the live chat as well. Or if you're watching as one of our Club Legend subscribers, if you use the Discord chat, you guys can get involved too. First question, Ross, I'll come to you with is, what Liverpool player would you like to get if you were doing Secret Santa, and what would you buy him?
I've had a good think about this.
Okay.
And there's several players that I would like to pick, but I'm going to go with Navigator. I'm going to get him 2 presents. One of these, because marketing. I'll set myself up for that one.
For the audio listeners, Ross is flaunting the Nabila jumper.
But also, I'm going to buy him, if you can get one on eBay or from some other site. Remember the first, not AirPods. What's the fucking called? These be called?
Headphones?
No, the fucking, not iPhone. The fucking thing before. It's
iPod.
iPod. There you go.
Okay.
But old school, because he has the AirPods, it's like fucking shin pads.
Right,
I'm buy him 2 of the old school iPods.
iPods, yeah.
iPods, the brick ones, so he doesn't get injured all the time.
Could you not just buy him shin pads?
Yeah.
No, I'm sticking with the theme.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah, fair
That's
enough.
not as funny, is it?
No, but
it would have been funny if I remember what a fucking AirPod.
Yeah, I was going to say,
iPod,
it wasn't that funny anyway.
Was it not?
No.
Okay.
I'm
going to buy Navigator shin pads so he doesn't get injured.
Ho.
Brilliant.
Jay, what would you... Who are you buying and what are you buying them?
I'm buying Jurgen Klopp a compilation of the greatest heavy metal anthems of all time.
And that jumper.
And this jumper, obviously. Yeah, because Mo's his favourite player.
Oh, this is...
There we go.
This turned into an infomercial.
It is, yeah.
I'm not against
Sorry,
it.
gang.
Do me job.
Sorry, gang.
I'm not against
We're
it.
going to get shouted at. Yeah, so I'm buying him a compilation of heavy metal tracks because I'm a big heavy metal fan, so it'd be nice to see what we have in common that way.
Do you think he's into heavy metal?
He absolutely is into heavy metal. He's got to be.
You think so, wouldn't you?
He's got to be.
Looking in the comment section, I've got my answers, but I'm going to go in the comments. So Liam Lawrence says, he'd buy Trent a captain's armband so we can get used to being the Liverpool captain for the future. He can just wear it around the house.
You would, wouldn't you?
Just model it, get his biceps the right size, make sure it fits, and then...
John Cena style.
Buy him a swimming armband, just write C on it, just to be cheap. And
just Trent walking around the house with one armband on as well. And then, see, I was thinking, and I was on a similar vein to you, but more so with, I'm thinking Curtis Jones, a nice Pirates eye patch. Obviously,
of course, yeah.
I don't know what he's wearing now, but I think he'd look like maybe a skull and crossbones hat as well. Because if
that jumper.
And my Believers jumper on sale now. We'll get to that later. But no,
sorry.
I think if he's going to have to wear an eye patch anyway, he might as well look fucking cool doing it, and Pirates look cool. Maybe even the whole outfit. You get the peg leg, the parrot, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, you can go full Captain Jack.
Yeah.
Captain Curtis.
Why Pirates called Pirates?
Why?
You've
redeemed yourself.
Thank you very much.
You've redeemed yourself from your horrendous joke earlier.
Shot. Argos.
Oddbod says, I'll buy Mo a fountain pen so we can go and get that contract.
Winner.
Topical from Oddbod, well done. And then he can lend it to Sadio, he says as well. So we'll cross that bit later. Yes,
that's a real answer, isn't it?
It's a good answer, but I mean, again, I don't think he hasn't signed his contract. He can't find the pen. I think there's more to it than that. But who knows? Maybe at least what we're doing, if we give him the pen, we're at least ruling out that is the reason.
Yes.
It's one less reason. If he's like that, he's like, oh, I can't find a pen. I can't, like, if you ask a girl for your number back when we were young, before mobile phones, and she'd be like, I haven't got a pen. Sorry, I haven't got a pen.
They
sorry.
always said that.
Yeah, a lot.
No.
You got a pen behind the bar?
Yeah,
no. Can't get you.
Yeah, I remember once being out on County Road, and asking a girl, can I have a number? She went, no, I haven't got a pen. And I ran to the Argos. To steal
a little blue one.
To steal a little blue pen. I came back and she fucked off. So I got right then. I'll take that hint. Anyway, yeah, so fair enough. And then the second question, I don't know any of you guys were aware of you should be, social media, Ross, but last night one of the Twitter spaces went off. It was absolutely booming. It was a sing your dialect. Basically, anyone could jump on, sing a line of a song with the host. A lot of famous people were in the chat as well. Declan Rice was in there at one point. I was in there big time, obviously. Me and Nigel Farage were in there.
I can't believe how quickly it blew up.
Yeah, rugby players, footy players, the whole world. When I was on there, I didn't sing, obviously I had no chance, but Lethal Bizzle sang a bit of one of his songs, or rapped a bit of one of his songs, when you put it. So, if you were in that Twitter space last night, Ross, and you were asked to perform a song, what song would you have sung?
Do we have to go along with the dialect? I don't think there is a wool song, is there?
You can be you, mate. You sing whatever you want.
Do you know what I'd probably go with? I'd probably go with a bit of Morrissey's, depressing it is, but I can do quite a good Morrissey impression, which I'm not going to do here because I don't want the show to get demonetised for a copyright strike.
Yeah. Morrissey's probably, he needs the dough, doesn't he? He's having a few issues anyway. You've been doing him a favour. Again, let us know in the chat room, whereas in the live chat, rather, what you guys would pick as well. What would you have sung? If you were in there and you happen to sing a song as well, feel free to let us know.
It's also quite easy to write a Morrissey song. It's just all that depressing, isn't it?
It's just mumble along, little melody. You'll be fine. You do okay. Jay, I'm guessing it's going to be rock, heavy metal.
Yeah, probably. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to go new metal. I'm going to go Limp Bizkit break stuff because the lyrics to that I just don't like Twitter Spaces. So I'd just be screaming that. Yeah, that's what it'd be.
I like some fella sang Sweet Caroline.
I fucking hate that song.
It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, there was a bit of Shaggy, it wasn't me, which I appreciate that. And I think the lad who sang had his girlfriend in the background going, wasn't me. Nice. That was quite good.
I might do my Party Trick Super Bass by Nicki Minaj because I can do that. As much as I love heavy metal, I can actually embarrassingly do that. So I'll probably just throw that out there. Yeah.
Mine
in the mirror to yourself.
We'll do it one day. I'll show you.
Mine would be My Humps by the
Black. Your lovely lady lumps.
Yeah.
Check them out.
Yeah. Or Shakira, My Hips Don't Lie.
Yeah.
Either way, it's got to be about my voluptuous body.
Was that not a waste though? Because we could only hear you do that on Twitter Spaces, and
I'd want to see the music video.
I want to see you in the wrestling ring or whatever it was.
I'd video it as well.
In the chapped leather pants.
What else? TikTok. I'd put it on TikTok. Yeah. That's what the young people are doing.
TikTok.
Get it on TikTok. So that's what I would definitely be doing. I would go for a bit of Shakira. And
maybe we should do a karaoke for the Christmas night out.
The Redmen Christmas party. Who do you think would be the best on karaoke?
Chris. Yeah.
100%.
He's got such a good musical background, hasn't he?
Yeah. Well, no, so it's Tom and Si actually.
Well, Si can actually play instruments as well. But I think if you turned up to karaoke with an instrument, you're automatically a blurt. You can't rock up to a karaoke bar and just whip. Am I singing? Am I? I just happen to have my guitar.
Go get the guitar.
You can't have that. You can't have that. Plus, Tom and Si would lose that guitar if we're on our Christmas night out.
I don't bring a guitar with him, but I'm guessing they've got experience in.
Or it would be sold when they run out of money to fund more alcohol purchases. Like, some skins got no dough. Like, just buy me a guitar. Or they could busk with it. Say, Tom, get your guitar ready for the Christmas night out. Anyway, let's talk about some footy.
Yeah.
But first, I want to show everyone at home. We are 1 week away from the end of our 3-month offer on the Redmen Plus. I'll give you more details about that and how you can go and sign up and everything about it in a minute. But if you want to know what Redmen Plus is, have a watch or a listen of this.
Hey everyone, I just want to get you up to speed with what is going on here at Redmen HQ. We have had a massive, huge, ginormous revamp of what we do. Our streaming platform is now known as Redmen Plus. Amazing shows, interviews, documentaries and features covering every angle of Liverpool Football Club. Here is what you're going to get on Redmen Plus.
People are emotionally attached to Ollie and they want to give him more time, and that's their prerogative. We should be challenging for the league this year, and if he doesn't, he's got to go.
What do the other side of it think? That's why I think Crespo's brilliant in the book. It's like, we all know what we think of Istanbul. What does AC Milan think?
Man United 0, Liverpool not 1, no, not 2,
not 2,
not 3,
not even 3,
not 4.
Couldn't believe it wasn't just 4.
5.
No.
Conte, obviously he is the dream, but I slightly agree with you in the sense of, like, I'm not sure he's going to look at a 19th place Newcastle, regardless of all the money, and say, I'm going to go at that job.
Just lastly on Alisson, because I have to ask, and I'm sure it's the thing you get asked most about.
Yeah.
Last season,
yeah.
The header.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah.
Someone forces you to trade 3 of Liverpool's starting 11 for 3 of Manchester United's starting 11 for the game at the weekend.
What this is the Club Legends show. It's for the legends, by the legends.
And then all of a sudden, he's opened a little space to accelerate into, and then again he pulls it back. It's as good as anything I've ever seen a footballer do. Redmen reacts. Liverpool have signed a centre-half. Ibrahima Konate has joined from RB Leipzig.
This is going to be a weekly show looking back in an analytical way at Liverpool's last couple of fixtures with some of the best minds in the business.
He's going to be the highest paid player the club's ever had, if and when. I think he will sign the contract. I'm consistently saying that.
So this is John Henderson's documentary, right? John, we have to say the truth, huh? So let me say it like this.
A new era has begun in Liverpool FC streaming content. Welcome to Redmen Plus.
So there you go, like I say, that is everything we do over on our streaming service, Redmen Plus. If you think about it as like Netflix for Liverpool supporters, that kind of explains what it is. You get all the weekly shows that we do, like we do Final Word, Around the League, Instant Match Reaction, we've got the Stat Show, Debate Show, we've got absolutely tons, and we've got our whole back catalogue of documentaries. We've got more in the pipeline, some really cool things that we've already started shooting that'll be coming out after Christmas, and also around the Christmas time we've got the 50 greatest Premier League players for Liverpool. So all that's to come. If you want to get involved and you haven't already, you have got 1 week to go to use our free code. That will get you a month's free. So basically, if you sign up now, you'll get pretty much to around Christmas to watch whatever you want at your heart's content. To do that, go to theredmentv.com, sign up as a club captain, use the code Redmen Plus. It's all one word in capitals, Redmen Plus, as you sign in, and you won't be charged for your month. So you can watch everything we've done, you can get a feel, see if you like what we do going forward, and like I say, there's some amazing documentaries that you can go and watch as well, Ross.
And because there's 2 games a week, just means you get loads more content, and you can get it on your podcast app as well.
Yeah,
so watch it, fucking listen to it on your travel.
Absolutely, we're quite aware as well. Obviously, there's so much content on there. It is, again, it's like Netflix, you can dip in and out, but the good thing is we've released the audio as podcasts on there as well. So like I say, if you haven't got time, and who has to sit down and watch 10 hours of telly every single day or whatever, you can be listening on the go, on your commute and stuff as well. Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
That's fine. But no, other people, travelling to and from work and stuff like that. So yeah, you can download it into your native podcast player. So
watch it in the car.
Don't do that.
You watch it in the car, don't do that.
Yeah.
As a passenger, you can.
What?
As a passenger, not when you're
driving. That's what I meant.
Oh, you get chauffeur driven, don't you?
Yeah.
Big time.
Billy Big Time now.
Anyway, let's talk about some actual footy itself. I wanted to talk about Ross about the next couple of weeks, because it's an interesting week for Liverpool. Given now, when we looked at the calendar about 4 or 5 weeks ago, it looked really congested. It was like big games, like almost must-win games, a run of must-win games because the opposition were playing. The fact is, Liverpool boxed themselves off so quickly in the Champions League that in effect 2 of our next 5 games are de facto meaningless. There's nothing riding on them for us. Obviously there is for the opposition, but in the middle of those, there's a home game against Southampton, an away game against Everton, and an away game against Wolves, where you think they must win games. Yeah. So I suppose the first question is, like, Liverpool need to set themselves up for the Christmas period, because everyone goes, the Christmas period, it's busy, but we've still got to be in the race before we even get to that, to the crux of it. So with that being said, Ross, and I know you spoke about this briefly on the build-up as well, but like, what significance, if any, is this Porto game? Is it a momentum builder, a momentum continuer, because we're coming off the back of an amazing result? Like, what's your overall thought process around this Porto game?
I'm very much on the fence, which I'll get a sore arse for doing that. But yesterday I was like, the dead games. I'm not arsed. There's the fear of all the injuries that we've got. There's the fear of last season of the injuries. There's the fear of what happened to Diogo Jota and him getting injured in a meaningless game, which I still haven't let go. I don't want that to happen again, but I also understand the fact that when you talk about momentum and riding the crest of a wave and stuff like that, there's plenty of players in there that need game time, and we need to get back into fitness and for rhythm. But because it's so busy, I don't want people to put themselves into the red zone. I don't want them to get the probability of injury to go higher. I know I mentioned on the build-up from me saying yesterday that Mo Salah never gets injured, which I know was stupid, and I don't apologise because it's not my fault.
Touch wood.
But if you're going to play him in a game, it's just a thing that's going to happen. If someone gets injured, it's going to be, I told you so. you know, why have you done that? It's stupid. And then what does that mean for those fixtures? Because we've got ourselves in a position in the Champions League where they don't matter. So we've worked hard and we've earned that. Why do we always want to go finish, like, get your games done quickly so you can rest and you can rotate and you've got the advantage? You've earned that. Yeah. Make the most of it. And then, like, because the league is so tight, because every Premier League game from game one is must win. Right? Don't play Mo Salah against Porto. Don't play him. I get this nostalgic stuff. I saw someone on Twitter yesterday going, I'm sure the players want to play in the San Siro. I get that, but don't just take them, sit on a bench and soak up the atmosphere and whatever else. But for me personally, Klopp won't do it. I think Klopp will go a lot stronger than most of us think or most of us would want to. But for me, it's have people 100% for Wolves, have them 100% for Southampton, just going absolutely dick Everton everywhere, because like they're in a bit of trouble at the minute. And then then you start December on a good run then.
That's the thing, Jay. Like, I'll be honest, how you feel about this, I'll speak how I do. But like, I don't think if whatever happens against Porto, because I imagine regardless there will be changes. Like, there will be young players. I imagine Neco Williams definitely plays. I imagine Tyler Morton definitely plays. Maybe you might get a Beck or a Bradley or a Balghese or a Blair. Obviously, Gordon can't play, but so there will be changes. So I don't see that it would be a momentum killer regardless of the result, because it's not Liverpool's team. Like, I would almost see the run being Arsenal, Saints, Everton, Wolves. Almost, I mean, like, is that how you feel about it? Like, I get that you want to build ahead of steam up, but I'm not sure how much I would put into the Porto, because it's not going to be Liverpool's team.
Absolutely leapfrog it. That's the way in my mind I am. I'm not getting myself riled up for it for tomorrow. At the end of the day, you know, we'll be there at the ground, absolutely having a good time, but it'll be a case of, okay, sound, let's get 3 points if we can. Well, there's that £2 million payday that people are talking about as well, but I want to see Morton, Bradley and Beck.
We don't spend that £2 million anyway, Jay.
Oh, I know. Oh, gosh. Another conversation.
That argument does my head in, by the way. Not the not spending. Oh, there's money riding on it.
That's what I mean.
Piss me off.
Well, Klopp said it, didn't he? He's like, because obviously after we qualified, he's like, well, there's meaningful games there, obviously money, but like what he says and what he thinks are two completely different things. And we talk about momentum and the field goal factor and stuff. It's great if we beat Porto, but what happens on the off chance that someone who's significant, you know, in the midfield and front three in particular, is where we're short, does get injured?
Don't want it to
What's the field goal factor then? What's more damaging?
They'd be like, oh, we'll sacrifice. I'd rather have him fit than have £2 million. That'll be the next argument all over socials. So, but I'm the same as you, mate. I want to see a young side that are chomping at the bit to get on. I want to see Morton, Bradley, Beck. You know, sounds like a solicitor's, that, doesn't it? Yeah, when you get divorced, Morton, Bradley, Beck. I'm not divorced, by the way. Not yet. So yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that happening.
I have a number of you do.
Of course you can. You know where I live. You go around. Actually, no. Stop. But yeah, mate, just leapfrog it, crack on. It's all about the league. We need them points. We're 4 points behind Chelsea. We need to crack on.
And also, there's people like, again, depending whether they're fit or not, Taki needs game time. Oxlade-Chamberlain, I think, will get a game. Divock Origi. There's plenty of players. Nat Phillips, Canate.
It's enough to beat Porto, Nick. It's
Keller.
enough.
Yeah, I was looking here, so we've had a super chat from It's Crossbow, who says, I'd love to see Conor Bradley get more games. I'd be fine.
Absolutely.
I'd be fine. Because he can play wing or fullback regardless. He can do both. Owen Beck's done similar. Neco Williams can do, I think there's enough there. And again, another chat here from our bod again, who says, it's probably more fun when we win with kids anyway. Something different to watch. I agree. Like, that Everton game was a bit fun.
Oh, it was class.
Because it was, and to be fair, that was a meaningful game. The flip side, Ross, then, is I'm looking at what's to come. And that's the reason I'm with you on the Porto resting players. So I say we go Saints, Everton, Wolves. If Liverpool want to be champions, they probably need 9 points. 7 at the max. At the minimum, and that's depending on how everyone else does. Chelsea have got Juve at home this week. I think it's tonight, actually, as recorded. And then they go Man United at home, Watford away, West Ham away. And Manchester City have got West Ham at home, Steven Gerrard's Aston Villa as they're now known away, and Watford away. Like, again, both of those teams are excellent, and they are very much probably thinking the same. Like, we can get 9 from there. But they're all games. I could see Chelsea maybe dropping points at West Ham like we did. Man United, who knows, new manager bounce. Watford away. Listen, I know Man United got to be there, but you'd expect Chelsea to go there and City to go there. But even then, City go to Villa, which won't be easy, I don't think. Get a resurgence. Villa, West Ham at home, who knocked them out of the Carabao Cup at that ground not long ago. So there's scope for those teams dropping points. Again, there's scope for us dropping points because it's a derby and it's Wolves. Typically difficult games. So my thing is, if Liverpool can go and get those 9, it could be that, as I say, when we start getting into the real thick of December, we could be very, very close to Chelsea, if not right by them. Maybe there's a little gap to City or something. So those fixtures look like they could be kind to Liverpool if we can get our business done.
Well, that's the hope, isn't it? Certainly with West Ham, is the fixture that kind of stuck up there. If you drop points to these teams, you just hope that you can take something from your rivals and the people that are around you. And also, I think Chelsea and City, I think they're near enough qualified, but they've still got meaningful games in the Champions League, which therefore means that they have to go strong. I know they've got squad
City
depth.
play PSG.
Yeah, they've got the depth, and that's to the Etihad, isn't it? But also, I know I've mentioned this a few times, and I wrote a piece last week of Chelsea drew at home to Burnley and City lost at home to Crystal Palace. Like, these teams can drop points, they can have their off days, and teams like West Ham can capitalise on that. Man United, just there's going to be no manager bounce there at all because they don't have a manager. They've just got the assistant coach that's in there, so I take no positive from that. But you never know. Sometimes you end up watching Soccer Saturday and you go, oh, fucking hell, someone's taking you by surprise. Then a bit like Crystal Palace and Burnley, which I've just mentioned there. I've repeated myself a few times, but I think it's important for us to remember, like you're getting at there, that teams around us can drop points. Where's the focus? Other teams can pick up injuries as well. Chelsea have got a few. Look at Man City, the team that they put out on the bench that they had at the weekend as well. It's still strong. It's still a really good side, but also, we focus on our bench and what's all going wrong for us. Well, the teams can have off days as well.
I've got a few comments here from the live chat. So we've got Bejan. I think it's Bejan. Pop says Klopp will go stronger than most because he'll want to maintain the integrity of the competition, which I think Paul mentioned that on the Umbu show as well. Crossbow says I would play Kelleher, Bradley, Konate, Phillip, Shimikas, Hendo, Morton, Ox, Salah, Origi, Taki. I'm okay with Mo Salah. I want Mo Salah nowhere near this game.
Or Jordan Henderson.
I don't mind Hendo because I think he could do with the minutes.
I'd put Robertson in for Shimikas if you're doing that as well.
Maybe, but again, we don't know how Robbo is. I don't think I don't think you risk Robbo. You can't be 100%.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense to give Endo half, like you did with the Joel Matip, Nat Phillips thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing we mentioned yesterday. There's five subs you can use as well. So there might be a massive fear of people looking at the team sheet and going, oh, fucking hell. But Mo Salah might only play 45 minutes.
If Neco Williams was fit, I wouldn't mind that. And I wouldn't even mind Neco playing on the wing for where Mo Salah was, for example, because I don't care who wins. I don't care. And, it'd be good. Yeah. And he has done that. He's been doing that job for Wales. But he did
it in the Carabao Cup game, didn't he, for the last 10, 15
Is there anyone who you just do not want on the pitch, Jay? Like we say, is there anyone you just go, he cannot be on the field?
Fabinho.
Yeah.
Number one for me. Mo Salah.
Yeah.
100%. And Trent, yeah.
Trent. I'm going with Virgil as well.
Well, of course, yeah. I don't expect him to play anyway.
Alisson, I'm not bothered.
Yeah. I don't expect Virgil to play.
I don't expect him to play, but I wouldn't be fuming if Alisson was in goal.
But
I would.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't live in a world where something happens to him.
Because you got the Michelin fear.
Yeah,
that's a new thing.
I like Kelleher. I think Kelleher's brilliant, but then you're only one goalkeeper away from having an adrenaline goal, and don't want to live that life anymore.
I would start Kelleher, but I'm not gonna for example, if Mo Salah plays, I'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I'm getting Diogo Jota and Michelin vibes all over him, and some fellas just absolutely crunching because what we got to remember is it's a big game for Porto, and I'm speaking later on the Redmen Plus to a Portuguese Portuguese-based journalist. He's English. And it's a big game for Porto in their group because Atleti are playing AC Milan at the same time, and one of them are going to drop points. If Porto can come beat Liverpool, their place in the group is like they're really in a strong position. There's a chance they could be pretty much qualified depending on how the other game goes as well. I think if AC Milan beat Atletico and Porto beat us, and if Porto beat us, that take them to 8, so they're thinking it could be job done. So they're going to be up for it. And that's my worry, is that if you've got lads on the pitch who are looking after themselves a little bit, Ross, and you just knock that as quite committed to a tackle with some of our lads, it's only natural that why would I put my foot in there and you can get hurt.
Yeah. Well, not even that. When you were talking, I was thinking Porto are going to be banged up for it.
That's what I'm saying. It's a combination of both.
Yeah. Like they're flying high. I think they're joint top with Sporting Lisbon in the league, and they're unbeaten. So they've got to be full of confidence. But also, like you said, is it a good time to play Liverpool? And since Liverpool do rotate, and they've got a good opportunity to beat us. I'm not to say like they're a Portuguese Burnley or anything like that, because I don't think they are. But also, if you've got a chance to go in the latter rounds of the Champions League, you give it everything that you've got. They don't really care about if Mo Salah gets a knock or Jordan Henderson or anyone like that. So, and I wouldn't blame them either.
Yeah, a few more comments. I'm going to go through here. Sorry, I've got Cross said I wouldn't play Matip either. He's having an incredible season, but he's injury prone. I tend to agree.
Yeah.
I think I wouldn't hate a Konate, Nat Phillips back too.
No.
Obviously, Joe Gomez is out, isn't he? And then we've got Andy who says I would play Kelleher. It's good to keep his career progress going. Yeah, I tend to agree on that one as well. Going back to the league run then, because we're bookending these games by what we're calling meaningless fixtures, Ross, but those 3 in the middle, Southampton at home, which last year we won.
Yeah.
We won at Wolves, but we only drew at Everton. So if we want to obviously comparing to last season, we obviously, because where we finished in the points total, we need to be much better. The Everton game is the one where you're looking, thinking, there's the other chance to get +2. The other two have to be wins. You have to win at home Southampton, you have to go and beat Wolves.
Yeah.
But the Everton one, if you're looking at how Liverpool improved much on their total from last year, +2 is go to Goodison and beat what's essentially a dire Everton team at the minute who've just got 11. I think they've got a full team out injured. They're in dire straits. How far ahead are you looking to the derby when you've got Southampton at the weekend and then the derby's midweek? Like, do you expect them to go full strength, bang, bang, Southampton, Everton, or are you going to see fair few changes for Saints at home? Because Klopp's tended to do this in the past. Like, there's a random Saturday game where you just see Neco Williams playing at right back, or you see, like, Konate's dropped in or something, you know what I mean? Or do you see him going bang, bang, bang?
I mean, I'd go full strength for the whole lot. You know, there's too much riding on games. Don't want complacency, and I know it's not complacency if Klopp does rotation, puts like a Neco Williams or someone in there, or Konate, because it happened at Old Trafford and our heads fell off, and actually he was boss because he's a £36 million defender, so we're all right. We've got squad depth, we can use it. I just want people to be managed in the sense of I won't play the same 11 each time, but we start getting bodies back, particularly in the midfield. You know, Curtis Jones is coming back, Thiago's come back in, Henderson's come back in, Fabinho's come back. God knows what's going on with Naby Keita. But use those players as much as you can to prepare them for the latter stages in December and whatever else we've got going on. Southampton have just lost to Norwich.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So they're not in a great position either. The confidence of that team will be on the floor. We go in toe-to-toe with Chelsea, Man City, and we do it. We've already started doing it for the past 6, 7, 8 weeks of going, you look for Liverpool's result, you watch the game, then what's your next thing? How did Man City get on? How did Chelsea get on? Yeah. Just fucking go. Don't worry about anybody else and just put all these teams to bed. Everton's another great one. I think they've just lost... not Leon Bailey. Who's the forward that they got? He's been injured for 6 weeks as well. Damari Gray, Damari Gray's out.
They've got honestly the whole team's injured.
So and I was talking to the lads at Toffee TV yesterday, and it was like,
it's bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So yeah, we were talking about playing an extra couple of games next season in the Championship. It's got things that bad at the minute, but capitalise on that. Maybe you can afford to rotate a bit in there, maybe. But again, I wouldn't. I just get as far ahead as you can, get the game done, and then make your changes.
I know Ross said before, Jay, about looking elsewhere, but I'll be honest, I am looking elsewhere. I always look who we're playing on a weekend and then who they're playing, and is it a chance for us to close a gap? And I say, Southampton at home is a fixture you'd bank on. Liverpool have to win, should be winning, really. So Chelsea have Man United. We don't know what that means. If it was all these Man United, it'd be a banker, but who knows what United are.
Where's it at, Old Trafford or?
At Chelsea. And then City have got West Ham at home again. Not easy, but it's at home.
I don't fancy Michael Carrick to tactically outdo.
No, but what I'm saying is, of those three fixtures, in theory, Liverpool got the easiest. Again, footy's not played on paper and blah, blah, blah. Cliche, insert random cliche here, but that is the chance, isn't it? If there's opportunities that it's feasible that those two can drop points. Liverpool just have to get the business now. Southampton. And my thinking for the Porto team is, you pick your Southampton team and then you work backwards from that. I want this team at playing Southampton to get 3 points. How can I make sure they are all 100%? Whatever it means to get an hour, half an hour, don't play a game, whatever. Is that how you see it as well?
100%, mate. I mean, are we all playing at 3 o'clock that week?
Pretty much. No, there's Man United, Chelsea on telly.
Right, okay. So you're going to have that worry, aren't you, of like playing in the middle and you go, right, okay, well, they've dropped points and now we need to capitalise. There's that extra pressure, or if they don't, it's like, right, we need to play catch up again. So there'll be a gap at some point during the day and we'll be shitting ourselves.
Yeah.
But I completely agree with what you said there, Steve. You play it backwards like a snooker game.
We play we're the first game, so we're 3 o'clock Saturday, so as I was saying, lay the marker down. So City play West Ham on the Sunday at 2 o'clock, Man United Chelsea Sunday at 4:30. So like I say,
I don't like 3 o'clock kickoffs. That's the thing that concerns me, and I'm not sure what was the case with Brighton. Obviously the performance wasn't there, and maybe credit Brighton a little bit, but it's like
a little bit flat.
Yeah, it's a bit
that's
routine.
What concerns me. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And especially with Southampton, get to a fast start. Like I said before, the confidence is on the floor. Just go and bully them, because that's what we should do. And if you've rested players for Porto, you should have players that are bang up for it. And getting players back as well. It's healthy competition there. Chamberlain's performances have been a pleasant surprise, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? If he, I don't think he can play. I don't think he plays on Saturday, does he? Is he suspended?
Who's this?
Ox.
Is he?
I think so.
No,
I didn't know that.
I might just make that up. But also, if he doesn't perform in these games, where's his game time going to come? So you want that competition to kind of be there. You only get that by putting performances in. So whoever plays Southampton, put performance in.
The last one I come to on the Porto game, Jay, before we move on to Sadio Mane chat, is Curtis Jones put a cryptic clue on Twitter that we've seen it. So it was him playing against Porto, and it was just an hourglass. Now, we've been told he was out for weeks and stuff, but I suppose this is where the Porto game's good for some people. Like, it's a de facto pre-season game for some. So if there is someone who's been on a long-term injury layoff who needs an hour or needs half an hour, because we've got 5 subs, again, we don't know the status of Curtis Jones. James Milner's close to the return.
If he's got an eye patch, just play him still.
Yeah, amazing.
I'm fine. I'm all right,
play him with one eye's fine. James Milner looked like he was the closest of the others to come back as well. Naby Keita was pretty close as well. I suppose the benefit of a meaningless game is you could give people a run out, effectively give them a run before Southampton, so they're not getting thrown straight back in. They might have had half an hour of footy under the belt, and then that might give them a better chance of being a starter at Saints.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I'd love to see Milner back for this. I think this game against Porto screams Milner if he can make it. I think that's definitely one of the more level-headed people that we need on the pitch for that type of game. Because he will drag you over the line for 3 points if it gets to that. But yeah, it's all about getting the minutes in, isn't it? But the risk I don't want is, because of these players that are injury prone, going back in for half an hour and then they pick up another knock, and then you've got another problem.
Yeah, I suppose
that's my only worry.
They've got to be signed off. They've got to be under.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is,
off.
you don't want them going into Southampton and starting a game and then getting dragged off after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You need to know that's not going to happen. I think that's the thing. If you can get half an hour, 45 minutes in the legs, which 5 subs can give you, you can if you really wanted to, you could plan your game plan to make 3 subs at half time. Knowing you've still got 2 for the second half. You could say, Curtis, Jimmy, Naby, you're having 45. Hendo, you're playing the second half. It adds that flexibility. I think that's the thing.
We've earned that right as well.
Yeah,
We've done really well. Do you know what I mean? And usually you do those sorts of things for League Cup games, don't you? But we've progressed in that now, and that's getting a little bit more serious now, that competition, where you're not going to see that Leicester game as a bit of a break now, are you? So we've earned the right to play around in these last 2 games, and we should play around.
Yeah, I'm also a massive believer of the fact that not the integrity of the game or throw at a game, but also we don't win that game, then Porto's chances of going through means Atletico Madrid are, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, no, listen, mate, at the end of the day, I get the comment before about the integrity of the competition. The integrity of the competition isn't Liverpool's problem. I wonder how much Jürgen thinks about that. I don't know. I don't
think he likes other people doing it, but also with the shoes under the foot, fuck him.
Yeah, I think the plan, and also I think the fact that you've got to you can't just play the under 18s because you've got a registered squad. Yeah. You've got to literally pick enough players to play. I suppose, and again, I think it's more he's in between. I remember, was it Porto a few years ago when we beat them 5-0 away and then we played them at home?
Yeah,
and he
brought, it was 0-0.
And he brought Mo Salah on. I was like, whoa! Yeah. And he said it was to keep his rhythm up.
Yeah.
So, pardon me, if he thinks Mo Salah's a rhythm player, he might give him 20. Like, who knows? We'll see.
He always wants a goal, doesn't he? He wants to top every chart. So
he's a very greedy man. In a very,
I love it.
In a very
driven man, is what I'd say.
No, well, both. Either or. Okay. Whatever, it is what it is. Right, we're going to go and chat about Sadio Mane and his new contract, or lack of one, in a minute. Everyone's been discussing Mo Salah and his contract, but Sadio Mane's in a very similar boat. And Neil Jones of Gold wrote a very good article that we're going to speak about in a minute. But first, you may have noticed, if you are watching the YouTube channel this way, we're all wearing our brand new Christmas sweatshirt. So I've got a Klopp one, Ross has got Feliz Navidad, and Jay's got the 5-goal wins Mo Salah. There's very limited time to get your orders in before Christmas if you want guaranteed orders. So have a little watch of this, and when you come back, we'll give you full information about how and when you need to get your orders done. I highly recommend you do so as well. Watch this. So there we go. They are the whole collection of our Christmas sweatshirts, fantastically modelled by the very handsome Paul Machin. I'm not just saying that because he's my boss and I'm sucking up to him a little bit. He is quite a handsome man in real life as well. So if you want to order one, guys, and get your orders in, here's the important information you need to know. International orders need to be in by midnight on the 24th, which our time recording is tomorrow. That's UK time. you need to be in by the 24th on midnight if you're international. If you're a UK-based viewer or listener, December 10th, your order must be in before then. Otherwise, you won't get it before Christmas. There's a very
That's
good
on
chance.
all products, books, DVDs, mugs, beer mats.
Anything from our merch shop. If you're looking at getting someone a Christmas gift, I say to guarantee the Christmas deliveries, you need to be ordered by the 24th if you're not in the UK, and if you are in the UK, the 10th of December. Right, guys, let's move on then. Sadio Mane's contract. The Mo Salah contract has been hanging over our heads. I done a play rating show, and I literally was screaming down the lens to get Mo Salah's contract signed on the off chance that anyone who remotely is connected to Liverpool was working.
Julian was watching.
In case Julian, John, Linda, Mike, any of them. What's the other one called? Who missed off there?
Tom,
good old Tom. But in the same situation is Sadio Mane's contract, and I'm going to bring up an article by Neil Jones here from Goal. He says there's an elephant in the room here. For months we've talked and wondered and written about Mo Salah's contract and whether Liverpool will offer him a big money extension, and yet Mane is in pretty much the same position. He's 29 years old, he's about to enter the final 18 months of his deal, and he too would like to remain on Merseyside, and he too would like recognition for years of stellar service and a salary befitting one of the world's top players. Goes on to, his agent's a bit less active on social media than Salah's, and maybe that's why we're not getting talked about, etc, etc, etc. Here's the thing, Ross, we are all very much focused on the Mo Salah contract, and rightly so, he's the best player in the world, we need to tie him down, but the other fella is on the exact same position.
There's a few of them, isn't there? I know it's not the same player, but Ox, Naby, Bobby, Mane,
there's a lot,
all in the same year expiry.
But I mean, of those, the importance level is you would consider. Obviously, Mo Salah's probably priority one, and you'd guess Sadio Mane's 1B. Like, they're very, very.
I think there's a debate for Bobby there, to be honest.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Like the age thing, Jay, and this is my question to you first, and it's a killer. I do apologise in advance. Mane's 29, about to turn 30 in April. Salah's 29, turns 30 in June. Like, can you tie two 30-year-old players down? Can you commit the salaries that they're both going to want, the length of contract they're both going to want? Can you do that with 30-odd-year-old players? And granted, look at that. Put it on my two top scorers in the Premier League right now are those two.
Yeah.
But the age thing, is that a worry at all? If you're an FSU, you just go, you know what, we have to do it.
Yeah, if it was me, you just have to do it. I think this day and age now, the way sports science is, players are playing longer. Yeah. I don't think that over 30...
dead.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't count anymore. I mean, I'm glad it doesn't, to be honest. As a 36-year-old man, we're all in our 30s. We'd be like, right, that's it, game over. But look at James Milner. Look what he's doing. Yes, he's not on the same level of player, but look at what Zlatan's doing. Look at what Ronaldo's doing. You're playing a lot longer these days, and I think these players can. And it's the fear of the unknown for me. You are going to command an amazing fee for either of those players if you sold them, 100%. From a personal level, from them, where are they going to go? There's no one bigger than Liverpool right now. Where are you going to go and play better football, have better chance of winning the bigger trophies? Where are you going to go? You're not going to Spain. You're not leaving. So they're sort of stuck in a rut now going, well, I don't want to play in France. I don't want to play in Spain. So I want to stay here. So give me the money. So for me, give them the money. Forget about Mbappe and Haaland and all that. Just stick to what we know. It works. These guys are fit as a fiddle, they'll play. The
flip side, Ross, again, the age thing, who knows? Like FSG, we always used to think, they're going to be smart with contracts, they're going to do this, this and this. They signed Jordan Henderson down, who's in his 30s, or of a similar age, to a longer term deal. You look at Mohamed Salah, and I don't think at age 32, Mohamed Salah looks like he's going to be any less fit, or any less motivation to be Mohamed Salah. Jay's right to reference, look what Leo Messi's doing in his 30s, look what Cristiano Ronaldo's doing, even Zlatan's another one, not as good, but...
yeah.
There's players 35, 36, 37 who are playing consistent Premier League footy. Thiago Silva the other day was magnificent for Chelsea, and he can't move, but he was still absolutely brilliant. 37, I think he is. Do we need to reconsider? Do Liverpool need to consider? You have to get these guys done, and can you afford and should you tie both of these players down?
I think you have to balance the business side of things with the numbers that they're and their output on the team still. Mane, I think he's second highest scorer in the Premier League currently, isn't he? So that suggests he's not really on the decline. I think the people's perception of Sadio Mane and what happened last season, they're quick to write him off. And I think a lot of people were writing him off in the first half against Arsenal. I know he gave the ball away a lot, but he's still impactful. Marry that with what's out there and what's it going to cost you and what's it going to spend. Obviously Haaland's knocking about his name that you mentioned there, but also 75 mil buyout clause. But what's his contract going to be? There's talk he's going to be the first £1 million player. Plus the sign-on fee, plus his agent's a bit of a dick. All these things that kind of come into it. It's not as easy as we think. Sadio Mane, I believe he might have been sold if COVID hadn't fucked everything. I think of the three, I think if the right offer came in, and it's still dependent on probably next season signing his contract in. If an offer comes in next summer and clubs have got the money back and someone puts in a reasonable offer, maybe that's something that Liverpool will consider. And it's probably the same for Bobby Firmino as well, and kind of weigh up the two.
You've got to start planning for the future at some point, haven't you? That's got to creep in your mind.
You can't just keep going. I know Carrick did that thing a couple. Was it last year when he was talking about Barcelona and them changing their front three kind of every so often? It's like, it's not what we probably want to do, but also what's out there is what out there better than what you've got. Get sticking to what you know. But at some point, you have to change these things and consider what's best. Can you afford to give Mohamed Salah £300,000 a week and then give someone else, of similar or just less? You got to plan for all these things.
Suppose, on that though, the flip side of that is, like, we've got one Jota's that a succession to somebody. Somebody Jota's there, he is in it. So if you sell if you sell either one or both, or let one or both go, the flip side is you are bringing someone in. You're not going to get someone as good. It's very, very. Who are you going to get? You're relying on trying to find 2 more Diogo Jotas who are on less money and come in and have a big impact. And that's
Jared Bowen.
That's hard to do because for every Jota you might get a Taki.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and again, I'm not disparaging Taki Minamino. Well, I am a little bit, but he hasn't exactly come in and set the world alight.
Yeah, exactly.
He might still come good, but 18 months in or whatever, 2 years in, nearly, and nothing. Yeah. So that's the risk, isn't it, Jay? In that, and the point here, actually, I'm going to move on to it, and it was another Ross, I think it was. He says, look how fit they are, hardly any injuries. All the Nous experience and hunger, FSG need to break the mould to back them. And then I think it's Bejan, apologies if I pronounced that wrong, who says you have to keep them because replacing them will cost you way more than the full value of their contract extension. So a transfer fee and a salary for this new guy, and I hope that if you get 75% of the play, you've done all right. There's so many gambles there where the obvious no risk players, keep them. See if you can keep them till they're 33, 34. Hope that they don't decline, and if they do decline in that last year, so what? Like you've probably still got 2-3 good years out of them before they're on the wind down. I suppose that's that's me, not a business thinking. That's me, Liverpool supporting Steve thinking.
Yeah, exactly. But like we said, you've got to start thinking about the future at one point. So yeah, I'm sat here going tie them both down because I want both of them to stay. But also in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I'm still going to be supporting Liverpool in the next 10 years. Who's the next players in that front three? And I'm thinking, right, so Jude Bellingham's available and all that, but again, he's going to command a fee and all that. I just think, I'm glad it's not my job to sort this crap out. I really am. Because I'm just glad I just enjoy the footy. But there is going to come to a point, whether it's the end of this season, where you've got to think, what do we do? Yeah. But right now, as I'm sat here, the unknown is the unknown. I want them both tied down because they're so vital to our team.
I agree, but, and to that point, which was similar to one that I made before, in buying someone else normally means that you get someone who's younger, and you've got longevity in that. So you're talking about a transfer fee and whatever else they command. Well, what's that over 10 years?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's saying similar stuff like with the Haaland stuff. Man City probably have chipped off Harry Kane now. What's the point in spending £100 million? Somebody can't score unless it's Albania or San Marino. Or we can get Haaland for less money. Okay, the wages might be through the roof. They can afford it, but we're going to have Haaland for 10 years.
Yeah,
or Harry Kane with his ankles to go and spend. Do you know what I mean? It's hard.
Yeah, it's cross-purpose. Let's talk about replacements. Adeyemi or Sarr would be good replacements, and that's the level of play you're looking at, Jay. Both very good young players, but they are good young players. You're buying a lad from Salzburg and a lad from Watford to replace Sadio.
Dennis from Watford's pretty good.
He's very good player as well, but to replace Mo Salah and Sadio Mane, it just feels like, again, it's a gamble. Like Liverpool aren't going to be better for that.
No,
they might have more money in the pockets, but they're not going to be a better football team, and that's the balance, isn't it, between the business side and the...
It's rolling the dice and landing on goal back 2 spaces, because that's what you'll think, and that's no disrespect to them players. It's just where we've gone in 10 years to where we are now at a level of, like, consistently one of the best teams in the world for the last 4 or 5 years. You're going to lose that, and that's something I shit myself, and I don't want to go back to those darker times it's a risk.
Can you envisage a scenario, Ross, where it's going to be one or the other? Because I hope I'm wrong, and I hope Liverpool and FSG don't do this, because these are 2 of Liverpool's greatest players, and I mean that, like, we're doing a top 50 Premier League players, for example, and I'm pretty certain that both of these 2 lads are going to be in the top 15, 20 lads. We'll find out 24th and 25th of December. I think the show's going out, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be very high. These are Liverpool modern day legends. If you're having to pick and choose, listen, I think we'd all agree Mo Salah would have to win, and that's no disrespect to Sadio, but I don't want to pick and choose. It has to, I just don't understand. You have to get done, and I get the age thing, but And with the I think the owners have to change it. Personally, like they have to get these contracts done.
Yeah, but they've done that with Jordan Henderson, but then didn't do it with Gini Wijnaldum. Maybe that was a case of one or the other. I know Klopp put his foot down with Jordan Henderson, and maybe he's tempted to do that with Gini Wijnaldum as well. Again, it depends what Klopp wants. It ties in with the sports science stuff, what Jay was saying before. If they believe they can get another 3 to 4 years out of Sadio Mane, then sound. But I just think the business side, rightly or wrongly, and again, it's not our problem, and maybe it's a criticism of the owners. But I also kind of understand it, and I don't know why they've done it with Jordan Henderson because of his injury record. Why give someone a massive contract at that age you get, but also you're running the risk? And I know every contract and every transfer is a gamble. What's to say Sadio Mane doesn't just completely decline in 2 years' time? You tied him down to, like we did with Adam Lallana. Like that was a bit daft.
It can't. But the flip side is then, that's the gamble. That's what I'm talking about. Is that. What if he doesn't?
But that could happen with a new signing. You could buy a new signing. You can get
I was about to say, like, you could bring someone in and he could just be he could be injured all the time. And again, it could be...
I'm getting Aquilani memories again now. Do you know what I mean?
Again, as someone referenced before, like, it was maybe it was a bit harsh on Taki Minamino. I wasn't saying Taki's not great. He might not have been. But we're 2 years into the Taki experience and he hasn't played. So, yeah, you can...
Scored on the weekend.
But that...
Banging? I know what you mean.
But my point is... Like it is a gamble. Like you don't know what you're not.
That's a low risk gamble.
That's the thing. It's 7 million. You can't replace Mo Salah. Imagine if you sell Mo Salah for 100 million plus and then replace them with a 10 million kid from
Suarez, Ricky Lambert. You know what I mean? That's not a disrespect to Ricky Lambert, but that's what happened, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was
Andy Carroll, wasn't it?
No, when we sold Suarez.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Suarez was Carroll. Suarez was Balotelli.
Suarez and Carroll was Torres, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But transfer gambles there.
It's horrible, isn't it? But that's a perfect example of 13-14 Suarez, Sturridge, Sterling, great forward line, and then the following year it's Ricky Lambert, Sturridge is injured. It was horrible, and we went backwards, and you didn't think we would. We thought we were going to make that next step, and I just don't want to do that again.
I back our recruitment team to not do that again because I think they've learned, and obviously the early stages of the ownership as well.
That's true.
Of doing that, and I think they held back a lot. Because they were spending big fees on crap players, whereas now I don't think we do that. I know we've got analysts in Michael Edwards and Julian Ward's obviously in the mould there now, and with Mike Gordon and everybody else who's part of that setup and that team. I'd back was to have at least done some research into players, or just kind of dipped in the toes of like, who's available, what do you think? We had a little thing with Sarr a season or two ago, and again a lot of stuff has been completely wrecked by COVID, not being able to shift players. Can you shift Ivica Origi? Does that buy you some more money that you can give out to wages and all that stuff and sort your structure out? It's there's a lot of variables to consider, isn't there? It's not just give him his money and it's fucking done.
I suppose the flip side is, Jay, in a pie in the sky world, we'd all accept it if it was right. We're going to let Sadio leave, but here's Erling Haaland. Or is Kylian Mbappe? Like, I'd be like, you know what? We love Sadio, but 29, 30, we're replacing him with the next big thing.
Yeah.
And that's what the talk is. There's some talk on the chat, there's some talk on Haaland. I get it. I just never see Liverpool dropping that amount. Like, that type of salary. I mean, maybe they should, because you're getting world-class footballers, and you're going to have them for 5 years, and they're all more than likely going to be absolute worldies. Both of them are. Yeah. They're already two of the best forwards in the world, if not the two best.
Maybe that's something that Klopp needs to say, because assuming we're going to keep these players past Klopp's era, the whole 2024 thing, it's a case of, right, if you could give us that scenario, stay and say, right, well, when they leave, we're going to bring in one of the greatest players in the world, you're going to accept it. You'll say, yes, sound. But maybe that's what our owners need to do, is just break the mould and go, do you know what? We've built this club now to a level where they can dominate world and European football. Let's just really put exactly, and just go, there you go. There's the world-class player you wanted.
And those two, it's a unique situation, because Kylian Mbappe's free, unless we think he's going to Real Madrid. Erling Haaland...
they got money, by the way. I thought they were fucking skint.
Real Madrid, they find ways.
The government love
the king
down Madrid, don't they?
Down the side of Florentino's couch. And then...
It's a big couch.
It is a very big. There's plenty of couches in his gaff. And then also Dortmund, they've got the situation with Haaland where it's a release clause. That's a fee. Yeah. So...
But Mane will still command a fee.
Yeah. I mean, you could sell Mane for more than Haaland's going to cost, just in terms of transfer fee.
Maybe Mane goes to Dortmund.
Do a little swap.
And then see after we'll get Jude Bellingham. Then you sign Bobby to a new contract and then put Bobby in the 8.
I mean, absolutely.
It's an interesting scenario.
Move over Julian Ward. I've got it nailed.
But it is weird though to wrap up. We haven't spoken about Mane. It's all been Salah.
Yeah.
And this is the point that Neil was making. And we've got Neil Jones coming in on Thursday for our JNO Insights Extra show, streaming on Redmen Plus. He's here each and every Thursday to discuss the biggest topics around Liverpool, and he'll be in this Thursday with Paul, and I'm sure Paul will ask for more information on where this is coming from and why he's decided to write it at this time, because I don't think it's ever just coincidence. There's usually reasons why journalists put this kind of stuff out there, Ross. But it has been the Mo Salah show for the last 6 months.
Because he's the best player in the world.
No, and I get it, but there's been no mention of Sadio. Like, I'll be honest, I wasn't even sure his contract was up. I didn't even know this. Yeah. And it's my job, I should know that, so more fool me. But it looks like maybe we took our eye off the wall. Liverpool probably haven't. Do you think... do you think that this is tying into the Salah thing? Like, we know we've got to pay both of them. What do we pay one compared to the other? Do we have to pay them the same? If you give Salah X1, does that mean you've got to give Mane Y1? Do you think within the halls of Julian Ward / Michael Edwards' office now, I don't even if they're sharing the room or whatever, do you think that's the conversation that's happening? Like, well, if we give Mo that contract on that, what does that mean we have to give Sadio? Do you think they are intertwined?
No, I don't. I think that
was a big question for you to just say no. I was hoping you'd say yes, it's fine.
No, because no, and it shouldn't be. You know, you don't. You know, give contracts out to people that work for you based on what someone else is getting there. You know, it's on performance, potential, again, output and numbers. There's a reason why Mo Salah's been talked about. And, you know, he is the best player in world football. Look at his numbers that he's put. His 18 goal contributions in the league in 12 games. His potential, the way that he's playing, the way that he's adapted his game, I think is phenomenal. And that's not a discredit to Sadio Mane, because I said before, the people that said he was done last season, I don't think he was. He's played a hell of a lot of football. I think he just needs to adapt his game a little bit more, because he loves that stop and go. But I think that's hard when there's two banks of four behind him. He can't play his natural game. He has really good spells. He's frustrating to watch, but he's been frustrating to watch since he got here. Do you know what I mean? That's Sadio Mane, his game. You know, as much as we hate it, he has improved, and again, his numbers this season have been really good. So I don't think he should be tied in together. I don't think Sadio Mane should be asking for the same amount as Mohamed Salah, and that's not a discredit to Sadio Mane. And, you know, and all the stuff with Mohamed Salah as well, of all the other stuff that, you know, that comes with being a world superstar. Do you know what I mean? And what that brings you. Do you know what I mean? As much as we don't think about it, I think the business owners do. Not saying don't give someone a contract just because they're a big star. Give him a contract because he's the best player in the world and because he's a big star. Whereas Sadio Mane, I still think he deserves a new contract, but I wouldn't be giving him the same as Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Liverpool play all that one out there.
Give him the same contract, actually, and say, have a goal bonus.
Both the exact same though, lads. Yeah, group package 2 for 1. We've got basically, lads. We've got $1 million a week, or $750,000 a week. Use decide how you split it between you, and just see how maybe a bit of a fight.
$50,000 a goal. There you go.
Probably not more than that. I'm guessing not more than that now. Anyway, but we leave that one there, lads. Again, thanks very much for watching. In fact, guys, first of all, thanks very much for joining me. So, thanks everyone at home for watching and for listening. Like I say, for those who are watching it on the YouTube channel, Porto game on Wednesday, we've got our live watch along, which goes live about 15 minutes before kickoff. An hour before that, we are live with our team news reaction.
Hour and a quarter. Champions
League, yeah, kickoff time's weird. Basically, when the team is announced, we'll go live to react to it, and what we're hoping is a very youthful-looking Liverpool side. Like I say, if you are interested in more of this type of content and the content we create, please do consider checking out our streaming service, Redmen Plus. Go over to the website now, enter the code Redmen Plus in all capitals, and you'll get a free month. Won't cost you a penny. Have a little look around, play with it, go back and watch the Hendo 10 documentaries and everything we do. I'm sure you'll really enjoy it, and it won't cost you a penny. Why not even give it a go? You've got 1 week before that code expires, by the way, so get that in there. Ross, Jay, pleasure, and everyone, we'll see you all next time tomorrow. Talk to you later.
Everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you want more from us, then please do consider joining Redmen Plus, our Liverpool streaming service, with extra shows, bonus features, interviews, and incredible documentaries like Netflix for Liverpool fans. We've got the club captain and the club legends here. If you join as a club legend, you get your name in this wonderful list here. Look at them wonderful legends. Anyway, Redmen Plus on the redmentv.com. Join up.